Yo, hello, this is Nick Titus, and I'm going to walk you through the amp setup. First things first, your stage manager will set where he wants the speakers. Both sides have two main speakers and two subs. You're always going to have a foot monitor and a center fill, and then likewise on the other side. You have two sets of amps. You have your small side, and then you have your big side. We'll start from the small side. First things first, like once you set your speakers, the thing with this job is you need a lot of help because you have to do a lot of stuff. So if you can set the speakers with your stage manager and your sound man can point them like in the direction he wants them, you can strap them down. The first thing, if you look through it, this side has basically 3 amps. You have that top one is for your side monitor, which is this cord that runs back there, right? It's just a Nutrix to Nutrix. So that's your side monitor, and then these two guys are for your main amps. Now what's really, really cool is the Japanese staff is awesome, and they have labeled everything. So like that says 2, and it's like colored blue if you can't see it. Right there's a little sign that says 2, and it's painted blue. Like every single cord is completely labeled. Like this one, labeled high. This cord is labeled high. You plugged high into high. Does that make sense? Yeah, I'm recording. Hey, you can say hi to Michko. She's kind of the shit. Sweet. So, it works like this. The first cord you're probably going to want to run is a 4-channel XLR snake. That's this one right here. It just runs all the way across. I took the liberty of putting stage left on it so you know which side goes where. You're going to want to run that, and you're always going to want to run your cords for front line first so that front line doesn't have to wait for you. Anyway, it's a 4-channel snake. It has mid, low, and high, and then side, and that's what plugs into the XLR for your top monitor. And then both sides have a set of these. It's pretty much a 3-headed Nutrix snake. And like I said, Mitch labeled them awesome for you. Say hi to Mitch.
Hey.
Yeah, she labeled them awesome for you. So all you have to do is pretty much plug them in and run them to your speakers. Speakers work like this. Like I said, you have 2 main speakers and then 2 subs. So your 3-headed Nutrix snake, which again is labeled 1, 2, and 3. 1 is for subs, 2 is inside speaker, 3 is outside speaker. Now on the sub, you have 2, I don't know if you can see it, but you have 2 inputs, or 2 holes. 1 is an input, 1 is an output. The top one is an input, the bottom one is an output. So from your 3-chord snake, you'll plug 1 into the top one, and then the bottom one, you have like just a little short connector that'll go from one sub to the other. And that's same setup for the other side. So you plug in, you're gonna run your XLR all the way across, get all your power and stuff going. Mitch will always find you power with the house staff. This one's really convenient and happens to be right there. Sometimes you have to run it really far. And this amp in particular has your Nutrix plug straight in. And I'll show you the difference on the other side. But again, Japanese staff labels everything, so you barely even have to think when you're setting stuff up. So chasing this along, that's the first cord you should run. Here you have your foot monitor and your center fill, foot monitor. And then those are the next 2 chords that I would run because again, you don't want to slow down front line. And everything, even the Nutrix cable itself is labeled. That says foot, as in foot monitor. These don't say center fill, although maybe by next year they will. It says side, because they didn't really think we're gonna need center fills, so we were supposed to have 2 monitors there. Long story. You're gonna want to run those 2 Nutrix cables from your big amps out here first, So it'll go Nutrix for foot, Nutrix for center fill, and then you have a 1/4 inch to Nutrix that connects foot to foot, center fill to center fill. Okay, so you go. Now you get to the big setup. This guy, again, your bottom is your amps for your main speakers and the drive rack. That middle one right there is for your stage right side monitor and your foot monitors. And then here is your RF rack with drawers for your microphones. And then up top is your center fill amp. Cool. Again, speakers exactly the same way. 1 for sub, 2 is the inside, 3 is the outside. Then you connect sub to sub with your small Nutrix to Nutrix. Side note, something really cool. The Japanese staff is all about things being pretty and things being safe. So you have to use these green straps. And they like them to look good, like straight across, clamp down. I'll try to zoom out. And then they have this neat little tie on that 3-headed Nutrix snake. They love you to tie it to the clamp. I'm not sure why that's safer or why it's better, but they absolutely love it when you do that, so I'd suggest you do that always. This comes across, moving mats. They like to use a lot of mats. Again, Japanese staff just likes to make things really, really pretty. Again, over here on this side, this is the other side of that Nutrix snake, labeled 1, 2, and 3. And then also where you plug it in, it's labeled 2, 2. Colored blue, colored blue. They couldn't make it any easier for you. You're going. If you look in the back here, oh hey, what's up, Evan? If you look in the back here, for your main stage right amps, you're gonna need to run 2 things of power. 1 power for the actual unit, and then another power for this little extension cord guy, because not only are you plugging all your stuff in there, but this is for the drums, this is for AV, like everybody uses our power basically, and that's okay. So if you look down here, they'll explain in more detail everything that plugs in, but it's all really, really labeled. If you look up here into your RF rack, there's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 channel snake basically they've made, and that's for all of your A, B, C, D, E, headset 1, headset 2, guitar, all that kind of stuff, and it's all really labeled really nicely, so you can just plug it in. The only thing that's weird would be, if I can get it close enough, your side right here, we have to use a splitter. Does that make sense? So from your stage right side amp, it plugs in here, and then if you remember from the beginning that 4-headed snake, that the first chord you're supposed to run, the 4 heads are low, high, medium, and side, and that just plugs into there. I hope any of this makes sense, or if it helps you at all. All of this, when it comes to this point of load, is essentially just plugging everything in the right spot, and again, it's labeled really well, so that shouldn't be that hard. Again, on this side, you just have to make sure you run and plug in a side monitor. The next thing that you have to set up is these guys. They're your RF receivers. This one needs to go, I'll get a better shot of it. This one needs to go in front of front line, and you have a second one, I'll just zoom in because I'm lazy and I don't want to walk back there, at the very back of the stage. How it works is those two like make a, I don't know, Jedi force field, and if your microphones are inside the Jedi force field, they work. So, really important, these guys are crazy, crazy expensive, so they want you to treat them like gold. Like that should be when you tear down at night, that's the first thing they want you to tear down, because they go inside a little cardboard box and you have to take really good care of them and all that kind of stuff. And they use a special kind of cord that's a pain in the butt to wrap, but it's great. It looks just like this. It's a gray cord with that head. It doesn't matter which one, because you're gonna have two cords, one of them running to the front and one of them running to the back. It doesn't really matter which one you plug them in here. But that's another thing you have to set up. And then probably after you ran all your cords, plugged in all your speakers, and patched in everything that you need to patch in, which they'll go through, the last thing you need to do is make sure every single theater, you can't really see it, so take my word for it, every single theater has a different frequency for RFs. So you need to talk with Mitch and make sure you get the right frequency, and they'll show you how to do it. But it's really, really easy. So like, for example, this theater, you can't see it, but it's set for the 20s. So it goes 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. Sometimes the theater is set for the 30s. So it would just be 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36. What got that? Anyway, that's basically it. And then a huge part of your job is just making this whole area look gorgeous, like taping the cords down, like really be, you can't be anal enough with this job, because the kids are around it a lot, so you want to make sure all your cords are safely tied back, but also this is like the most expensive part of the Japanese, like of what Sano has personally paid for, so you just got to really take care of it. I don't know if this helps at all, but this should give you a good start anyway as to what you're looking at and what you're working with. All right. Good luck, and Mitch is awesome to work with, so I'm sure she can explain everything that I didn't. All right. Good luck.